Hi there, I'm Sal Freya, and this is Myriad Media Musings. Welcome everybody to my newest vlog series for Netflix's Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy, Siege. So Power Rangers, Digimon, and Pokemon, these three are some examples of franchises that I grew up watching back then, that up to now I still have some fondness for. But Transformers is a bit of an odd case. I actually never really grew up with them, and I did not care at all about the franchise back then. I believe this to be because of sheer ignorance and not growing up during the correct time for the franchise. So the first Transformers series I ever saw on TV was Beast Wars. And I was really confused during that time because I certainly knew about Transformers. I heard of the various characters like Optimus Prime and Megatron and Bumblebee and plenty of others. But I always knew them as robots that turned into cars, trucks, planes, and jets, and all that cool stuff. So I was very confused when Beast Wars came around, and not only did it look like really butt-ugly CGI, very innovative at that time, but looking back on it now, yeah. Anyway, Beast Wars, with its very odd CGI look and premise of robots turning into animals, I thought the thing was just stupid. I just couldn't muster any caring for it at all, and I thought, no, Transformers is stupid. It's just Beast Wars is stupid. What the heck is this garbage? And for any of you Beast Wars fans who are watching me right now, you are free to throw imaginary tomatoes at me because I was most definitely wrong. So then as I continued growing up during the 2000s, that was during the time of the lesser-known Transformers anime series such as Transformers Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. And once again, they didn't really hook me. I can't really think of any reason why, because I loved Power Rangers, and those series had a bunch of giant transforming robots too. So why didn't Transformers get to me back then? No clue. I'd say Transformers started to really hook me when the first 2007 movie came out. I'm probably going to talk about this later on, but whatever is said about that first movie, I feel that it really brought Transformers back into the public eye in a huge way. People started talking about the characters again, talking about the likes of Optimus Prime and Megatron, and wanting to know more about them. And I was one of those people. I was curious as to why these Transformers were fighting their war, who exactly these characters were, and what did I miss during all this time when I grew up not knowing or caring about the franchise in the first place. I really wanted to know more. And then eventually I saw the 2008 series Transformers animated. And I loved that series. Not enough to get the toys, mind you, but I loved the characters, I loved the story, I really loved the stylized look of that series. And the more I got into it, the more I realized that the slogan or tagline of Transformers really was true. The Transformers were indeed more than meets the eye. So as time went on, I immersed myself more into Transformers, understanding more of the characters, their personalities, knowing about the lore and mythology of the Transformers universe, understanding its Japanese roots, and getting much more deeper into the minutiae until a couple of years ago when I bought my very first Transformers toy, and here I am now. So when this new Netflix series was first announced, I was really intrigued. For starters, because these guys you see back here, these are from the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege toy line. Yeah, that's right, the toy line came first. I primarily got these particular toys instead of, say, like the old 1980s ones because I was really impressed by the engineering and the transformation aspect of all of them. Getting into the Transformers toys now is certainly a bit of an experience, because it really is interesting looking at them from an engineering point of view, how the toy designers are able to fit all the vehicle bits to properly turn them into vehicles and then back to robots again. It's very fascinating for me. But yeah, at any rate, seeing that the toys came first before the series is certainly different. I can't recall a time before when, for Transformers, the toy came first instead of the show. From my experience, it's usually the other way around. The show or the movie came first, and then the toys came after to tie into them. But yeah, seeing the toys I bought, like seeing this guy, and Optimus, and Megatron, and Starscream, seeing them come to life in a series, in this new series, is certainly fascinating and exciting. For all intents and purposes, I kind of feel like a little kid, just wanted to see the toys I bought come to life in motion. So my expectations for this show, I'm trying to keep as low as possible. I mean, as excited I am with the toys and seeing the trailer, I do know the history of Transformers and how it's had some really high highs and very low lows when it comes to some of its shows and its comics and its characters and its stories. At the very least, I do want it to be entertaining, and I do expect it to not be in the vein of some of the series before. I mean, it is on Netflix. It is specifically focusing on the war and is on their home planet of Cybertron, so there's no Earth, no humans, and not a whole lot of the stuff that you would expect to really make it like for really young children, like for toddlers, nor do I not really expect to see a lot of really in-your-face humor. Yeah, of course not to say that what came before was bad. Just more, like I said before, that Transformers has had some good and bad points in its 35-year history. And I am hoping that this new series will be leaning more towards the side of good instead of lousy. So before I go, for any of you who wants to know more about the world of the Transformers, I highly recommend the YouTube series Transformers: The Basics by Chris McFeely. Though the 2007 movie and Transformers Animated got me to like Transformers, Chris McFeely's Basic series got me to love Transformers. His videos on all kinds of Transformers topics are just outstanding. I cannot highly recommend them enough, and I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description below. So I believe that's it for me. So what other shows during your youth and during your teenage years came out that you didn't care for, but you only started caring about them or started liking them after you were older? I'd be curious to see and discuss more about that. So yeah, that's it for me. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the video description below. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for episode 1 of War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege. This has been Zalfreya, and this has been Myriad Media Musings. See you around!